So if we take a look at our other chart, you guys can see we're breaking above this 5-minute order block that we talked about earlier, which is also an inversion. So we're breaking above this, not quite, but we are at the top. It just makes sense to expect that it's going to keep going higher and higher, but I really want to see what can happen if we make a swing high on a 5-minute time frame. Shout out to Mia Carter, Mia_Carter__36 for following me on Twitch. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting me. That is so sweet. So we're going to be looking at the 5-minute because like I said, I still want this pullback right into this zone. All right, I just want to see what is going to happen up here. We can look at it on the 1-minute. But like I say, we really need to wait for everything to connect. And in order for that to happen, we have to wait for a swing high on a 5-minute time frame. Then we can use this low down here where you see this yellow circle at. We can use that low. Wait, what am I doing? Right. So if we get a swing high to look something like that, notice how this yellow line puts this, order block right into a discount zone. So we just pretty much need to wait for 2 5-minute candles to close. We have 2 more minutes until this one closes right here. And if this one closes really weak, then we possibly could take a sell. I don't really feel comfortable taking a sell, but this is really setting up to be a really nice sell, you guys. As much as I don't want to get tricked out, because NASDAQ can do some very sketchy stuff when you try to counter trend. Even if you're right, sometimes it's just not worth it. So, and then look, now it's moving extremely fast to the downside. So let's see what happens. If it's at least going to possibly give us a 1 or 3, maybe I would try it. But if it's not a 1 or 3, I'm not even going to take it for a sell. But let's see what can happen. We might get a sell, we might get a buy. If we can get 2 1 or 3s today, make 6%, that would be super sweet. But I really don't want to take counter trend trades right now. I'm just trying to take what they're giving me within this time frame, and this may be the only thing. But it'd have to be like all the way up here just to even make it a 1 or 3. That's a 20-point stop loss. I don't really like having 20-point stop losses. All right, then the other problem is that, right, we have this 1-minute order block right here. So we don't know if price is going to want to respect it. I don't think it will, because like I said, on the 5-minute, it looked like we're going to create some type of a swing high up in here. So let's at least see and wait for this candle to at least get close to closing. I know it just opened up, right? We're probably going to miss the sell. It's miss everything. It's a miss everything day. That's what day it is, man. Just going to go back into the 5-minute, try to focus on the buy that we was talking about. I was hoping I could have caught a scalp right there, but there's nothing I can do about that. Also, if we get a 5-minute swing high right here, then we have to make sure that we stay aware of the entire range. I make videos about this all the time, right? Because people get confused on how to use the Fibonacci tool. So when price is coming down right here, you might try to use this 5-minute order block to buy, and then you might just get swept out because you forgot about liquidity, right? And then this little area that we was looking for from the beginning of the screen is probably going to be where this market drop off into, right? And then at the very least, we have this 5-minute order block down there, right? So that do make me even want to sell even more now, because look at all of these red candles. This is very algorithmic right here. All right, I'm trying to figure out where can let's at least look at it from the 2-minute time frame. It looks a little bit cleaner. My stop loss will have to be at the top of here, targeting all the way down here. That is a 3 to 1 if I was able to catch it up there. I'm thinking about if we can get a decent enough pullback, I'm thinking about trying this trade out right here. Looking at the 2-minute time frame, just want to get a decent enough pullback. All right. So like, let's say if we can pull back up into at least the midpoint right here, then we're going to use the top of this gap right here as a stop loss. So it's already a 4 to 1 risk to reward from the midpoint right here. If we was to drop it a little bit, it's still decent risk to reward. Saying that to pretty much say, if we go to where I think we're going to go, the risk to reward is pretty much there even right now, right? But drop back into the 1 minute time frame. We just got a range that we can use right there. Measure out this time frame. Discount is all the way right here. So if we go back to the 2 minute, we could just put our stop loss up there. So that's what this trade will have to look like, something like this. And then this is a 1 to 3.5 risk to reward ratio. So let's see what's going to happen. Just want a little bit more of a pullback right there, right? I am aware that this is counter trend. I am aware that we're still respecting this range, right, for buys. So this thing could obviously rip up and just keep going up. I'm aware of all of that, you guys. So that's why we use something called risk management, right? So it's just touched my area. I'm going to sell right here, right? I would have liked, oh man, see, I didn't even confirm the trade yet. See, I would have liked for this gap right here to stay open. So this changes a lot for me, but let's at least see how it's going to close before I get in on this trade. Because if this can close and maybe it's just this, if this body closes weak, then I'll feel way more comfortable getting in. But we need to see how this body is going to close on the 2 minute time frame. Because like I said, we don't want to really be counter trend when the market just may want to just continue to go up, right? Well, let's see what happens right here. See, on the 1 minute time frame, this body closed pretty strong. I don't really like that. But let's see on the 2 minute. All right, this is how you try to wait for confirmation. Right, you have to see how these bodies are going to close. I almost got excited and got in it right there, but I just don't like being counter trend, honestly. So right there, that body closed above the midpoint of this gap. I'm not in love with that right there. Where the sales, I am not in love with that at all. So let's see what happened, man. Do we need to sweep out this liquidity first? Let's see, I don't know. But this is not looking good for a sell. I will not take this as a sell right here. All right, this price pretty much came down here on the 1 minute time frame, swept this swing low, and then this little gap right here on the 1 minute time frame was used as the breakaway gap. So we should have been buying right there, right? I would not be in the sell right here unless I see something happen with this 2 minute, fair value gap. But let me see, just for learning purposes, I want to see what was the risk to reward. If you would have trusted this breakaway gap and then if you would use this stop loss, targeting these highs right here again, that's another 4 to 1. So maybe we should have been buying. This is why, you can't do counter trend. But, let's see what's going to happen on the 2 minute time frame. It's still respecting this gap. I don't really like so for me, the way I use ICT concepts, if I'm looking for the market to go down, I don't want to see a body close above the midpoint of this gap right here. I honestly don't even want to see price touch this gap right here at all. Because now if we drop it to the 1 minute time frame, if this market is going to keep going up, you could possibly just keep following the trend. But me, I just want to be real cautious, man. It's the time of day that scares me just a little bit.